Okay, you guys, we're recording. Thanks to all of you for being on the call. Go ahead and everyone just mute yourself, okay, so we have good audio here. And then if you need to ask a question, hit us in the chat or just go off of mute and let us know. But thank you for those that are on the Zoom call today. This call is about our Charleston market and the opportunity to come in and really take it by storm in terms of growing Beachbody in that local market. I've been very impressed. I had an opportunity to visit a couple of weeks ago. We had an outstanding training event there. We actually were wall to wall, standing room only almost. It was super hot in the room. It was packed out, and was just really impressed with the engagement and the interest and the emergence that Beachbody has had in that Charleston area. And so as I spoke with Natasha and some of the coaches there was a high level of interest to begin a formal market council in that area. Prior to my visit, Keyshawn has been out there as well and has talked about that with several people. So there was definitely a feeling of, hey, let's do this. Let's make this happen. I felt like based on the turnout that we had at the event and just, again, the overall interest that the market, could probably take this on if there's a willingness to get involved and get going, because it is, a commitment. It's not a paid position. There's not a lot of, fanfare for it. Natasha, thanks to her, she's been handling a lot of coordination of Super Saturdays and getting hotels and managing details, and has done a great job with that. Natasha's going to be moving to Florida. Unfortunately, she's still in our region, which I'm happy about, but she has kind of been carrying the torch and a lot of the weight for Super Saturdays in that area. And so it's very timely for us to try to put a committee together to make sure that Super Saturday and other events and activities live on in the Charleston market. I'm going to turn the time over to Keyshawn for a few minutes, who has worked with market councils for 2 years. She started many market councils in markets just like Charleston. She is one of the best and leading experts on how these are done, and does a great job of painting a vision for these. So I'm going to let her kind of overview the market council for you, and if she has to run, then we'll get into some bullet points and questions as we go. So we'll try to keep this brief. But Keyshawn, will you paint the vision for this for the folks, please?
Yes, I will. First of all, I think you gave me a little bit too much credit, but thank you. I'll take it.
Never enough.
Hey guys. All right. So I'm Keyshawn Graves. Like Craig mentioned, I work with the 2 through 5 star diamonds. And like Craig mentioned, I've also had the opportunity and pleasure of seeing these market councils, seeing these leaders come together to erect these amazing market councils that just allows us to further reach people in order to end the trend of obesity, starting right in our own backyards. So that's what the market council is. The market council is a group of leaders from different teams with a common goal to do just that, to end the trend of obesity starting in our backyard. So when we get these people, typically there's 3 main advisors, and then there's a support system of about 10 people who support the events. Now, there, in addition to those 13 that I just mentioned, there are also volunteers, and there's a whole slew of people that really come together to make this thing happen. But you guys are kind of the heartbeat. You guys are kind of the leadership that makes sure that the arrow is pointing in the right direction, and that we are making sure that we're creating fun and events that people want to come back to and people tell people about, and that are sharing that we exist, that Beachbody exists, that there's an opportunity for people to have their entire lives changed. So that's essentially what the Market Council is. Now, Craig asked me to kind of go high level over. Now, do you want me to go deeper than that, Craig, or do you want me to just kind of start? I mean, do you want me to stop there, or do you want me to go deeper and go into each?
Yeah, I think that's great, Keyshawn. Maybe I'll screen share here and also kind of hit on these, and this is based on a document that you put together. So definitely jump in, with me here. But let me just screen share with you guys a little bit, and we'll go over this, and then we need to get into a discussion, with you about the level of interest and how we want to go about having people apply for this and whatnot. So thank you, Keyshawn, for that overview. Can you guys see this document that says Market Council Overview?
Yep.
All right, that's up. Okay. So we've kind of, again, it's Keyshawn, and I am a big list person, as you can tell you. So overview, the purpose, I kind of listed it out here as she mentioned. I mean, we want to grow and unite Team Beachbody with the local coaches in the market. Plan and host either Super Saturday events or other local trainings. You guys are kind of the voice, the pulse to the local market. You have interaction with our corporate sales team, and keep us privy to the stuff going on and help, pull us out there. Or when we have an opportunity to visit there, you are our first point of contact to get that done. Okay. This is a question that sometimes coaches ask, well, why should I do this? Like, as I mentioned, like, you're not getting paid for this. This isn't a rank advancement. I mean, this is really your service out of the goodness of your hearts, because you want to see your local market grow and become, have an impact of what Beachbody can do for your community, right? But it's an opportunity to be part of a group of coaches that make a difference. If you're looking for something to contribute to that's bigger than yourself, that helps other people, it's really an opportunity to do that. You become a critical member of the growth in your local market, which can give you exposure and credibility, help be a unifying force of the leaders and coaches in that area. It gives you an opportunity to create connections and friendships outside of just your team. There may be some of you who don't have a lot of local coaches, or maybe the majority of your team are in a different state or different city. This kind of gives you an opportunity to really connect in a formal way, if you will, with coaches outside of your immediate team. And then also, this may or may not be a significant bullet point here, but it gives you access to the corporate sales management team. So when you're on the market council, it doesn't matter what rank you are. If you're working with us and you are spending and giving of your time and your effort to help move Beachbody forward in your market, you can contact Keyshawn, you can contact Robbie, you can contact me, and we're going to be there for you and help you and kind of be your ally and advocate in whatever you need in your business. And so it kind of gives you some access there, and a voice with corporate that maybe you wouldn't have otherwise. All right. So there's some cool benefits, while not, again.
I do.
Yeah,
I have one more. However, while there's maybe, just piggybacking off of Craig, while some of those things may be true, what I have heard from leaders who have really led the charge for these market councils, that it is a volume driver. Because of all the reasons Craig said, it does allow that to be an opportunity for you to add to your team, add to your network, thus drive volume. So I just wanted to point that out, that a lot of people, especially come event time, that they do see an increase in their volume. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
Absolutely. I love that. So it helps you boost your personal business as well, which is great. Keyshawn covered the council structure: 2 to 3 main members, 5 to 10 advisors. Definitely, we want people that are committed. You don't want these to get too big, because sometimes it's hard making decisions when there's too many people, too many, cooks in the kitchen, if you will. So we try to keep the structure very tight, so that you can function as efficiently as possible. All right. In terms of communication, we use Facebook. We use a Facebook group. And so really, to get one going, we get a Market Council Facebook page set up. That can be, sometimes we start them up. Other times it's okay if the Market Council puts that on, as long as they make the regional sales director and the sales manager admins in the group, because we do like to vet through who the candidates are to make sure that anyone that's invited on the council, someone that's in good standing with Beachbody, that's going to uphold the integrity, of the company and of the market. And so we partner, with you guys in making decisions of who comes into the council, and we can't just be adding, willy-nilly people to the group. So we ask for admin access to that. Submit names of advisors. Once approved, add to page. Okay, so once we kind of get that page set up and we've got these 2 to 3 leaders, then we'll choose council members and we'll add them to the page. Most of the communication that happens within the Market Council either happens through that Market Council Facebook page, or these days it's also very common to have just this thread, a Facebook Messenger thread going, where you guys coordinate details and stay in communication, and we try to tie into that. It's important to to tag us or copy us on communication if you need us to get involved. Okay, one of the main things that we like to do is set really high level of quality for events, and Keish, you put this together. Keyshawn's heading out. All right. she's awesome at this one. She created this list, and really it's just about making sure that Super Saturdays maintain a high level of quality, so that no matter what city you go to in the network, there is a level of consistency and quality that happen at Super Saturday events. So we like there to be themes and music, a success wall of before and after photos, success stories, that you line up for the event, workouts where possible. We encourage those. Sometimes the venue doesn't allow it, or the space doesn't allow it. We definitely encourage there to be a workout at the events. They tend to draw a lot more people. We like there to be recognition at each event, and that you really put some time and dedication into recognizing the new coaches that might have rank advancements, coaches that maybe have hit Success Club or Success Club All-Stars or Legends. If you have transformation stories, making sure that you put the time and investment into recognition at those events, because it's one of our 4 vital behaviors, and it's a really important piece to those events. We like there to be definitely 60-day minimum, setting up the event page and having the location locked down and getting that preparation done well ahead of time, because promoting the events winds up being one of the most critical pieces that the market council takes on, is promotion and making sure that people know it's there, sending out messages, messaging former attendees to past Super Saturdays, whatever has to be done to get the promotion out there. That's what you take on. And so anyway, having an icebreaker, Shakeology bar if possible, just some of the expectations that go into putting on an event, and what you would have to be involved in with this. So anyway, in addition to Super Saturdays, we kind of focus on that because that's definitely what you're committing to. If you want to expand on that, by all means, like if you want to get together and do a coach lunch, where coaches get together once a month for lunch and just get together and mix and mingle and share, do that. If you want to get together, at a clubhouse somewhere or something and do a mastermind group and hey guys, let's share, social media tips or follow-up tips or overcoming concern tips, anything that you want to do to help lift one another and create an opportunity where you can get together. The Market Council has absolutely all the power in the world to be able to do that. A lot of market councils wind up getting involved in creating and growing the Beachbody brand through humanitarian efforts or charity efforts. They'll go volunteer at a soup kitchen or Habitat for Humanity or some local charity, and they'll wear their Beachbody logoed shirts, and they'll go in as a local chapter of Beachbody, and it really just helps create awareness and again a good feeling in the community of what Beachbody represents. Gives you an opportunity to get out and help grow the business in your area. And so that's all driven by the Market Council, and you can be as creative as you want to be. Okay. From a logistical standpoint, within the Market Council, there is someone that has to handle finances. Someone will have to set up either an Eventbrite or a TicketButt account. Natasha's been running this. I believe that account has a balance to it. We're not going to get into the weeds on this call. I know Natasha's probably like, yeah, this is what it is, and she's ready to pass it off. We're not going to get into that until we choose who's going to, take over. But there is an existing account that has to be managed. The funds have to be managed. We want to make sure that nobody, gets hurt from a tax perspective, that the Market Councils, run as a break-even type of entity so that you're not paying taxes on the revenue generated from meetings. At the same point, we want to make sure that the meetings are self-funding, and if the Market Councils want to run a cash flow positive account where they do other things, maybe that other events like the leadership event, I think we charge $10 for or so, and we got a little cash on it, and we put that in the coffers so that if the Market Council wants to buy a projector or a screen or prizes to give away at the Super Saturday, or they want to boost ads to promote the Super Saturday to make sure that they're getting the word out to more people, there's some funds in the council that can be used towards these activities. Someone has to manage those. All right. There's usually a marketing or PR type of committee. You've got to create, the social cards or flyers that you're going to send out to promote the event. Someone, a lot of times will do a video, maybe a montage or something that has pictures from the previous Super Saturday and it's promoting the next one. Whatever, needs to be done from a marketing or PR committee side. There's usually one of those. There's usually someone that takes on, like the welcome, committee or a theme committee, decorations, and they make sure that you have people there early, that, that the chairs are properly set up, that the decorations are up. There's a selfie station. There's, a Shakeology bar. If there's a drawing, we're handing out tickets for the drawing. That there's a table set with Beachbody products displayed, so everything looks great. There's going to be different committees, for that sort of thing as well. And we have some committee recommendations. Definitely, we have some blueprints that we'll give to you that you can follow. At the end of the day, though, you guys have autonomy to be like, hey, why don't we break out into 3 committees or maybe 4 committees, whatever works for your market. And then you kind of assign someone to run that committee so that it's not just 1 or 2 people doing all the work. It's a lot of people doing a little work, and there's great coordination there. So anyway, I've kind of said a mouthful. I think we've overviewed this in a okay way here. Keyshawn, any other thoughts from you, or should I just open it up to questions at this point?
No, I don't have anything else to add. That was very
all right. I said a mouthful. So any questions from you guys?
Just for everyone, so when you have, I guess when the market council is being decided and when people are filling out the applications, I know you said, you posted the application for people to fill out, Craig. Who decides, or how is it decided who those 2 to 3 initial people are, and then who makes the decision onto who the 5 to 10 additional members are? I don't know what you call them.
Yeah. It's usually a combined effort between the 3 key members and us. We'll kind of go through and choose who those advisors are. Now, Charleston's, this is interesting because we need to choose our 3 key members still. With you leading, Natasha, now it's kind of like, hey, who wants to step up and be a key member? And so we need to post these applications again and see who comes back wanting to do that, and then we'll have to choose.
And knowing that I don't want to assume, but there are 3 plus Natasha here. So is that something that you guys are interested in? For Mabel, Kim, and I'm sorry, who was the 673 number?
Julianne on the phone.
Because you guys are here, you're committed, so that leads me to believe I don't want to just assume that you don't want it.
No, I'm definitely interested.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in as well. Mabel and I and Natasha, I mean, we are pretty, we've been to just about every one that Natasha has held. We've gone to the meetings, and I think we're pretty dedicated. Natasha?
I was on mute. I was unmuting myself. I do have a coach too. Keyshawn, you met her, Jennifer Watson. She went to the meeting when we all got together. She wasn't able to make it to the call tonight. She's at the gym. But she's also been part of all the plannings of the Super Saturdays, like Kim as well. And she wants to be a part of the market council. She may have already submitted her application. I'm not.
Application's not even live. It's submitted.
Yeah. Actually, we have it.
Okay. I love it.
But yeah, she's definitely interested in doing it too. I'm not sure about Jeannie on the.
Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to throw out that question, Craig. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's great. That definitely need to have that conversation as soon as we get there. So if you're watching this recording then, and you're interested, you want to be a part of it, make sure to get that application. And Natasha, can we post the application again when we put out this video link, and fill that out and get those back to Natasha? She will get them to us, and we will, start going through a selection process, and we'll invite out to a follow-up call to kind of get this formalized.
Perfecto. I'm excited.
Any other announcements or things that you think we ought to cover, Natasha, on your end, like question? Have you gotten any other questions on where to go, where to start? Did you say you do have some applications already?
No, Jenna, I wasn't sure if Was your email attached to the?
I put the application, I sent it out in a follow-up post, so.
Okay. I'm not sure if she had the application. I don't know if she filled it out or not. I'll have to follow up with her. But I just realized I probably didn't attach my email address for anybody to be able to send me the application. So I'll do that. So when we post this video,
they can fill it out and send it through Facebook Messenger. I mean,
oh, that's true too.
it's not hard to send an attachment these days. So
That's true. Okay.
Okay, cool. So let's send that out again with this video link, and we'll see what comes back. If not, then Keyshawn and I will probably start making some proactive calls to some of the the coaches that have been engaged or who have or Star Diamond coaches in the area, and see if they're willing to kind of step into that position. Because what we definitely don't want to happen is have Super Saturday kind of fizzle out when Natasha moves. Like, we need to pick up this torch, and it needs to be an effort of those that are willing and excited to do it. And Keyshawn and Robbie and I hope to be able to work with you guys to make this happen. So,
Craig, that was one of the questions I did have somebody ask me. So just super quick, to be one of the 2 to 3 key members of the committee, do you have to be a Diamond or Star Diamond coach?
I'm going to let Keyshawn answer that question. Keyshawn, Jeff Hill just grabbed me.
Okay.
Answer a quick question for him.
Okay. So let me tell you, ideally, yes. And the reason why is because this is fun. This is something that you could use to be taken away from your business and from inviting and from us, rolling our sleeves up and really getting deep into ending the trend of obesity. So ideally, yes. Now, are there people who are not Diamond and who will still push for their own goals and be able to really add so much value to market? So of course. And so that's why it's just ideal.
Okay.
So ideally, yes, but it's not set in stone. We just don't want, and the reason is to protect you guys. We just don't want you guys to have so much fun with it that you start only focusing your time and energy and attention to the market council and not to your people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a quick question. What happens after the year? Do you reapply, or is it just 1 year and you pick another team?
So right now, it's kind of, this is the market council until you decide that you would like to take a reprieve, and then we will fill your spot.
Okay.
Now, we will quarterly kind of take a look at the market council. How is it meshing? How are they doing? And from there, quarterly, we'll say, you know what, maybe we should revamp it a little bit. Or, you know what, I'm going to leave it put. So while there's no real time frame, it's mostly up to you. We will be monitoring it quarterly to make sure it's still working. And then, of course, since you guys are the eyes and ears, if you're like, hey, guys, this ain't working, we need something, and it's not at that quarterly moment where we're taking a look at it, then we will stop and we will take a look at it right then and there. But that's a great question. Any other questions? No? So how do you guys feel?
I feel great.
Yeah?
I'm answering for them.
I'm sad that there's a market council being established, and I'm not going to be here.
on the backs of you, girl. This would not be possible without you.
But I'm doing everything I can to get in the market council in Orlando. So I will be on a market council regardless.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. So what will happen is once we finish getting those applications and we get the market council together, then we'll kind of have another one of these where we'll actually take a real deep dive into some of the things that Craig mentioned today. He mentioned culture. What is that? He mentioned these events that you can have. What type of events are conducive to you and your market? So we'll kind of go into that, and we'll brainstorm and strategize that way you can have your year planned. We'll also talk about promoting, and we'll get into the details of it once we establish the market council. So this isn't it. I don't want you guys to think that this is like the market council training.
That was one of my questions, like what, the technical piece of it. Mm-hmm. What is all that involved?
Yeah, I was like, they're probably wondering, like, okay, so
we're on the council. say what now?
Yeah, so we will definitely go over, you know, how to prepare for an event, what happens during an event. We'll talk about different committees and tasks that you guys can create in order to make sure that you all are not doing all the work. That is not our goal. Our goal is that every member is a contributing member. That way it's not on the shoulders of any one person. This is a team effort.
So what happens if has it ever happened? I'm just curious if a market council has been established and things haven't gotten done. I'm curious because there seems to be a lot of people who are wanting to commit and saying that they're going to be there and do things and show up, and then on the day of or in the planning of or whatever, it's crickets. It's like it's non-existent. So what happens at that point? I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just
So at that point, that's when Craig and I get proactive in reaching out to the leaders. Hey, we need you. We need you to show up and you know, let's see what we can do to put the energy, put the focus in our area, in this city, in this market. So has it happened before? I'm sure it has. I can't think of any. But typically when that does happen, there's that one person who is willing to continue to do the fight, continue to do the work, and then we make sure that she is supported, that he is supported. So Craig and I, we, you know, roll up our sleeves and we make our phone calls. How can we get her supported, him supported? Did that answer your question? Okay. Those were really good questions.
I would just, you know, I know it's still a growing market too, and I would hate for you know, anybody on the market council to kind of get in and then kind of be left high and dry. So I was just curious what would happen in that situation.
And typically those, honestly, I do not hear it often.
Okay.
Like, that's why I'm like, has it happened? I'm sure it has in all the years that market councils have existed, but I literally cannot think of a situation.
Well, that's good.
Anything else? Craig, so we were just kind of talking about, we're going to have another training once we finalize the market council to kind of go
for sure
into some of those things. Okay.
Awesome. Great. Yep. We were just anxious to get this off and get the ball rolling. I know Natasha is anxious to get this going. She's trying to move. She just got her house listed. And so we wanted to make great haste with this. So guys, thank you for being on. We'll get this. I'll get this link over to you and post it. We'll repost the application and let's make this thing happen. Thanks to everyone.
Let's do this.
All right. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.